It's
Okay.
Now we're
basically
going to take into
So-
account. So this is the rule on
This
this.
is
We're taking into account their upgrades as well.
their overall how good they are for the game, not just the hey, this is the base form, but their use of game. Because like for instance, Ankh, you upgrade almost instantly. So 8.6 balance, relic tier list of total value from that relic. Blink,
S plus.
S.
No, S plus.
it's
Upgrade is dog shit, so you don't even do it, and then it's super short.
I'm saying it's S because on this map it sucks. You're getting it on the gods that want it for the instantly we're in position for a good ult, aka Hoonbots, Geb, Cerberus, a good chunk of supports. But the issue you have is there's a certain relic that is better than all the rest that you see built 4 to 5 times on every single team
At the start of the game.
at the start of the game.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
We'll get to that demon in a bit. Bracer of Undoing.
see, unless you're playing duel, then it's S plus.
Nah, I'd probably say
You would never build Bracer of Undoing unless you're
Right,
a
it's
solo who
C.
just took a Vulcan ult.
Yeah,
I'd say C because in a conquest game, because we're not taking into account the other roles or other games modes. The moment you take enough damage to make bracers heal worth, you're probably about to die, meaning you're dead.
Yeah.
So it's bad. Ankh
First Ankh.
is B.
This is an A. This is A.
I'd say B just because it's not. We're not seeing healers as much. There's still gods where it's
I would say A. It's
good.
still
I would say
situational.
A.
Tainted Steel still got placed high because it's still good but situational. Ankh is if there's a healer that or like Vamana or somebody who gets guaranteed healing, A. 100%. You
This
pick that up on
also
support.
this also affects hunters that build lifesteal. Right?
It does affect lifesteal, but it doesn't
It
give them
affects
the
lifesteal.
debuff.
And here's the thing, if you're smart enough, you would activate Cursed Ankh on a Wukong while he's in the animation to go up in his ult. Okay?
Yeah, same
But
thing with like during Savannah's healing or
This is an A item because at some base level there's healing happening at all times. Believe it or not, Cursed Ankh also works on health pots.
it reduces,
weird,
but I don't
but
think does it
that's
proc
cool.
the debuff on health pots?
Yes,
no,
it does.
it only procs debuff on healing abilities. It strictly says that, and I've tested it. It strictly only works on
It
abilities
says
that give
using
health.
this item reduces the healing received by all enemy gods.
Yes,
doesn't
it
say
reduces
ability.
healing
But the
overall, but the
boosted damage.
debuff, like the damage multiplier,
damage
is
Yeah, so
only
the
on healing abilities.
the upgrade, yes, is with god abilities.
Okay. So how many healers are really in the meta that makes Ankh A? Because I think B is in like it's situational.
Wukong, Cerberus, Sobek, Achilles. You got Danzaburo.
Hunters are going devos.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're going Devo, so it's still anti-lifesteal a little bit, but like
I think-
actual heals.
I think it actually works on Soul Eater as well.
It does.
But it works on Soul Eater.
It's like
For
it's
the
like
debuff?
anti-heal right now. It works on all forms
Yeah,
of
any-
healing.
any
If
form
health
of healing.
goes up, it nerfs it.
The only healing
Yeah.
it doesn't affect is HP 5, hence why Ares is the best healer in the entire game.
Yeah.
Because
it's a stat.
So
Frenzy.
I'll agree with you guys because consensus says A. Frenzy.
A.
It's A. It's a solid item.
A good time Frenzy does a ton of damage.
I was gonna say B because it's almost never get the chance to pick it up, but that's the issue. It's not because it's bad; it's because you don't get the chance to pick it up because there's other ones you have to build.
Yeah,
there is
So
other
A.
items that do the similar effect that are better.
It's great. The only issue is there's certain ones that outweigh it that need some balance.
Yep.
Horrific Emblem.
B.
Actually,
B.
I'd probably say A.
There's a couple
I think
weird
A.
strats that you can do with it.
I think A because it's starting to pick up in overall value.
Yep.
It does nerf crit hunters twice.
It hits.
Yeah, it does.
It hurts. It hurts crit hunters because the damage output's lower and the attack speed's lower. If you pick it up first relic as a support, it gives a lot of kill potential because suddenly they are super slow while you're running at them.
So I'd probably put it as A.
Okay, if that.
Like there's times where if you, like I'd say frenzy's better for when you're going for objectives, whereas horrific is a lot better when you're just fighting.
Yep.
Meditation cloak, C.
If there was a tier of absolute shit, Cleveland Brown level type of
Cleveland Brown at least gets a win this season.
They went to the playoffs, so I can't use that joke anymore.
Yeah, Jaguars. The Jaguars.
They are Jaguars. No, Pittsburgh Pirate level of shit. All right, it is fucking awful.
No. We'll go even lower. The women's soccer team that lost the 15-year-old boys. It's that bad.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's that bad. Okay. It's bad. It's a bad idea.
It used to be so good, and everyone loved it. And then Hyra smacked you in the face, saying "fuck you," and now it's garbage.
All right,
Phantom B. It's truly situational.
It's completely situational. The damage mitigation on it has high value. The upgrade version of the damage mitigation has high value.
Yeah, spending 500 gold so you can have the actual best part of the relic, and then having the base form only be situational against like 4 gods.
On occasion, I'll see it picked up once or twice purely because of an Ymir.
Ymir, Odin, Thor, and Cabrakan are the only walls that I can think of that are halfway relevant right now.
The ones I've seen get picked up: Yamoja wall,
Ymir
wall.
I've seen it picked up in the SPL.
I don't see it being worth picked up against Yamoja because you would rather get Ankh and then you have to have the next item.
Yeah, but I'm saying like those are the 3 where I've seen it get picked up against.
Yeah. All right.
It's truly situational. There's even less options of where it's actually useful. Yeah. Beads,
Purification.
S+.
Yeah, there's no question. Nope. Yep. S+.
If you don't think beads is S+, go play the game without a set of beads as a jungle, ADC, mage, solo, or support. Tell me how it feels.
Yeah. Play a mirror without beads against a Sobek. Good luck.
Yeah, feels great.
And it's not even that beads is that broken. I genuinely think it's that beads. It's been power creep to where you have to have beads to survive, but if you nerf beads, then then the game's gonna suck ass. So you just have to buff everything else to be as good as beads.
And the thing is, beads will still get picked up.
Beads will still get picked up, but you might see if meditation is better. If meditation is better and blink is better, we might see beads.
You're literally seeing people pick up Magi's cloak and beads still.
Yeah, that says
there's so many times you need it.
So when every god release has to have 1,000 CCs.
So when they made a change to the relics, where you didn't have to buy the relics anymore, you could just get them straight for free. That was in season 3. Beads used to have a 3-second cleanse on it, and it had a low cooldown of I think 100 seconds. So gods like Fenrir or Ares.
Oh god, who would have been useless? Fuck.
Yeah, it made a lot of gods that had a lot of hard CCs fucking worthless. And then they nerfed it to where they put it down to 2 seconds, and they increased the time to 180 seconds. That is a weird idea. Seconds.
If you buff beads, would that make hard CC worth less? So you just see less of it, making beads not as. Do you think they should buff beads?
No.
Listen, we're already.
They have to buff the other relics in order to make beads fall.
I'm streaming, you bitch.
Oh, you are. Right.
Yikes! Little B goes to show you a fat meme and you walk away from it.
Listen, it's on a certain meme site where I don't know if it's going to be inappropriate.
Oh, those are their best ones.
And all right, Aegis. Let's move on to Aegis.
Aegis.
I'd probably put it at. See, here's the thing.
I think it's S.
Anytime you would pop Aegis, unless you have a team directly there with you to help peel the person off of you, or it's just like a one instance where you got like a damage over time on you, where you have to like Aegis it so you can live. Aegis is useless because you're just gonna die right afterwards.
Yeah, it's A or B. It's A or B. You can't put it in S.
I would say A because it can be useful. Like if a fucking flying chalk comes in and starts dumping kit on you, you can Aegis, and then or Aegis is ult, but while you're silenced a little bit, so you're not dying immediately. It can be useful.
Okay, but hunters are also almost all picking up Aegis and Shell.
I mean, I guess you have to put it in A. You have to put it in A, I guess.
Yeah, it's an A. I don't think it's S because there's too many ways to hard counter it, and too many people can't get it to use right.
And you can bait it out pretty easily
Yeah.
too. You can actually bait it.
Nothing's better than the time that I've baited relics with a mirror wall after doing nothing. Just a
Yeah.
mirror wall,
Oh,
like,
this is the
"Ah."
best. You mirror ball, and they
All
just
right.
beads. It's like fly.
Yeah, like,
Shell.
I threw up a mirror wall and turned around and a Merlin beads. I was like, what?
New shell, I give it B.
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 I'd probably new shell. Old shell would probably be S plus. New shell.
No, new
B.
shell, old shell would probably be S.
And this is not an advocate for. I'd say old shell's S plus.
Old shell is
Because you were
S+.
seeing 3 people buy shell, and it countered out so many gods from being able to be played.
Yeah.
And this is not a it needs buffed. It's a hallelujah. It's gone. We're tired of seeing it built every single game on 2+ characters.
Now we can actually, because
play
of shell
Dashi
being nerfed,
again.
we see Ankh, Frenzy, Sunder, Horrific being built more.
Yeah,
All right.
Crazy.
Thorns. See,
Thorns.
Thorns
See.
is terrible. Don't pick it
It's
up.
dog
it
shit.
alone.
Fuck you, Zapman. Heavenly
Alright.
Sprint.
A.
E.
It's A. It has,
I think it's A.
It has a lot more uses where it's actually really helpful.
Yeah. Especially against gods that are, because when we played, you weren't here. Where we beat a, what was it? I was we were playing against. Oh no, this was the other day. No, but I remember Ice and me. We were solo lane, and I picked up Sprint, and it ended up saving his life a couple of times when the Arachne tried to gank us. So
That's true. It does counter
Sprint-
out slows really hard.
It counters, slows out pretty hard, and usually if you see a weakening curse on the other team, that is the item that you have to get. Is
Do
Sprint.
you know if it still has haste?
It does. That's its upgraded
Yeah, the
version.
upgrade
is
form
haste.
has haste.
That's sick. Okay,
Yeah.
hey, I'm fine with it now.
Yeah.
Sunder. Oh my god, this
Thunder.
this is an
S.
S tier item.
For
S.
the meme ability and how fun it is, SS plus 1,000 times better than beads any day of the week. For actual balance, it's S. Nothing
Yeah,
is
it's
better
S.
than as support, standing around the
Killing
corner with
them
their
levels.
red buff,
And the
circling
reason
the
why
red buff, sundering them and stealing their red and killing them. Like, it's fun.
Can we just say thank you, the other Frost, for making supports more toxic than ADCs for the first 5 minutes?
I mean, Sunder's amazing. I think we're starting to see Sunder more because a lot of the other relics just didn't have the value that's. I mean, like tanks. While there are situations where tanks can be very hard to kill, you can easily blow them up with Sunder.
Also,
It's
like
not,
hard counter shell, Nike ult, like any shields.
Geb, Kepri, anything. And plus, they take additional damage if they do have that
The
shell effect on. Like shell on Vamana. Like you use this on Vamana when he has his shell on his ult. It plus cursed donk, dude, he's shredded almost immediately.
Yeah,
Like,
he's basically
dude-
squishier than he was
Dude,
without
if,
the ult.
if you sunder cursed Ankh a Vamana, he better be hard carrying the game.
Yeah, he
better be
be.
the only reason they're winning.
Well, you would probably get like Cursed Ankh as a support and then Sunder as a solo.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're putting that much to deal with, then like it better be a problem.
Well, if you kill the Vamana, they're down to tank.
Teleport C.
I would
It's
probably say it's B.
Supports.
I'd probably say it's B.
True, it's better
B.
than it's better than meditation.
It
And
allows
Thorns.
non-Bluestone starts not to feel as shitty.
And
No,
the
they
thing
still
with
feel
it too, this is from the solo lane. This is the solo laners are really the only ones that build it. Yes, I know Raffer built teleport on Ymir.
It was
Okay.
genetics, not Raffer.
Oh, was it genetics? Well, he
Yeah.
did it for a specific reason. He upgraded it almost immediately. He did that so he can get to fast rotations around the map because of it. Now, the reason why in solo lane you would build teleport glyph is so that you wouldn't lose farm, especially if you're in a bad matchup and you know you can't win it and you know you're going to lose farm. But here's the thing: you have to take advantage of using teleport glyph. You have to get the farm. That means that you have to be invading the enemy jungle on cooldown with this item, because if not, then you're not doing this relic any justice. If you're just using it just to get back in lane in your tower to farm and get your buff, then you're not using it the way that it is meant to be played, which is it's weird. It's like a passive aggressive active is what it is. You have to use it actively in order to gain an advantage over your opponent in lane. Other than that, I mean, like, hey, teleporting to wards is pretty cool because you can reset. Like, if you're a solo laner that gets poked out, hopefully your team is smart enough to get wards. They drop a ward near your location. It's a reset. You can come right back as long as it's not on cooldown and restart the fight all over again with a healthy solo laner with full abilities up. Maybe not your alt, but at least you'll have some ability to disrupt a lot of what the enemy team is doing. Other than that, it's not. Other than that, you shouldn't build it because blink, beads, spear, cursed donk are probably what you're most likely going to build in the solo lane, depending on your matchups.
So we didn't really do what we did with the starter items with these yet, of like what we think would be good things to help with. So I will say right off the bat, something that would be I'm not sure what the other effect would be, but I think teleport would automatically move into a much better position if they brought back the being able to teleport to wards without upgrading.
So what would be its upgrade?
So
That's the
what
thing. I'm not sure how the upgrade as, but it was a lot better when you could do that. So as a solo, you could rotate to fights a lot better. It wasn't hey, I got to rotate to your tier 2 tower because we lost the tier 1 and then rotate to gold.
All right,
What if they made it to where it had a little bit of a lower cooldown? Because sometimes when you use that early, and because you want to get your boost or whatever, and you get
so right now it's on a 200-second cooldown, so 1 minute and 40 seconds. What I would probably do with this item is I would give it back its ability to teleport towards, but I would actually increase the cooldown, and the upgraded version would be to reduce the cooldown, much like beads or Aegis. That's probably what I would do to make it a little bit more viable.
If they wanted
but late game, the reduced cooldown doesn't mean much.
If they wanted to add a other effect than the reduced cooldown on the upgrade, the two thoughts that I would have is either have like a protection thing over a ward that you're teleporting to, where it takes a little bit longer, like maybe adds an extra 1 or 2 hits, or because I was thinking originally like, oh, make it where they can't see the ward you're teleporting to, but that would be but absolutely busted.
What if they gave it a movement speed buff when you teleport?
I'd probably say give it a shield. Like when you teleport to ward and you come out of the ward, you get like a shield, a 5% shield of your maximum.
Say that, health. Or make it to where once you teleport to a ward, you have a little bit of a boost in terms of shield or resistances when you initially start fighting.
I think a movement speed buff would be sick.
But like overall,
think about it. If you teleport to a T2 and left, so that way you can go to Gold Fury, well, that little bit of movement speed could get you there faster.
But
it could.
But overall, make it to where you can teleport towards that base, and then change the upgrade, because as of right now, it sucks. If you were able to rotate better without having to upgrade this, it would feel so much better.
Yep.
I will say for meditation, bring back old meditation, where it's scaled off of the caster's health and the recipient's mana.
But I would probably make it, because what was the original? Was it like 25% of?
I think it was like 15%.
15%. Then I would just make it 10%.
Yeah, I would reduce the numbers, but I'm saying bring it back to that point where, like, if you're using it as a support and you have if it's 10%, if you have a 4K health build, which being close to 4K health as a support isn't honestly all that insane.
If you're playing your mirror, it's basically guaranteed.
Yeah, then you're healing your teammates for 400, which is really good. But like, I've heard thoughts of make it true healing. Like, there's so many thoughts of what to do to help this, but I think just bringing back the old state and balancing it from there would be fantastic. Because ever since they changed it, it was like, okay, do I want to have Shell, which can't be lifestealed off of, and have the better upgrade, or have meditation with a really weird upgrade to fit what it does at base, and have it do slightly more health than Shell?
Yeah.
By slightly, you mean 20.
Yeah, like it's
exactly
so
20.
small that it's
and it can be anti-healed. It can be cursed on to passive, I believe.
Yeah. And then beyond all of that, the upgrade is so weird.
1 second doesn't change anything.
It's 1 second off casted abilities, if I remember correctly, and some returned mana.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so weird. Thorns, revert the nerfs.
Yeah. Give
revert
it back.
the nerfs, and crit will fade some. Not completely, but some.
Brave,
won't complain about it as much.
I think Bracer is fine. I don't think
Even
Bracer
as a
needs to be
jungler,
touched.
if Thorns were to come back, I wouldn't complain as much because I know that I could sick my solo clocking on the hunter so I could dive the mage.
Yeah. When it comes to Bracer of Undoing, I think it's fine the way it is.
Yeah, like
I wouldn't touch it.
anytime Bracer has been considered good, it's been to the point of frustration.
Yeah. I
No,
think
I feel
it's
like they
good.
just
the way
need
it is.
to completely change how the item works.
I mean, it's what 40% over your last damage dealt, so you'd probably have to use it right away in order to continue boxing. Like in all
what if
honesty,
they were to change it to where it's just like a heal based off of a percentage of your missing health?
What if they made it just
well,
like a
you can't do
bracer of
that because, like,
empowerment
if you're a
versus undoing?
hunter, you don't have a lot of health to begin
Okay,
with.
so another issue that's also present is just like meditation, it suffers from anti-heal. What if they made it to where the healing total was better, but it was also a heal? It was like a burst heal where it went a little like chunks, but it was over time, so it wasn't the instantaneous.
What about a shield? Make the same
No.
health, but make it a shield.
No, because then it's just shell.
Because then you can't even use it to counter executes. I'd say even or a half and half. Like it could use some changes. It's just be very careful. If there's a single change that pushes it over the point of balance, they have to switch it back instantly, which is what makes it so fickle. Because when this was meta, everyone hated it.
Yes, it was bad.
Just
if you built
like when Sunder was even more meta than it is now. Because when
Dude, I remember old Sunder. That's a
old
fun
Sunder,
item.
it was fun, but when you had it used against you, you just wanted to cry.
Yeah.
Even
Have you ever seen
though
5 Sunders hit one person at once level 1?
Even though-
Phantom.
even though it's rated, okay, I'll say real quick though, Blink,
Phantom's
even
fun.
though it's rated S, either make the walls thinner or up the range.
Phantom. I don't think this needs to be changed.
I think Phantom's fine. It's meant to be a counter item. It's not meant to
Yeah.
be a build all the time. It's meant to be a
Give
deal
the
with
movement
it.
speed buff to Blink.
No, they already have damage mitigation on
The
Blink.
upgrade has to be better than mitigations. I hate the mitigations upgrade.
Mitigation is useless. It's on 2 seconds. If you blink and get insta stunned, okay, fine. You mitigated 15% more damage. But if you blink, they turn around and then hit you with 2 basics. You're only going to get the proc on the first one. And if that one doesn't
Here's the
crit,
thing.
it doesn't matter.
If you blinked and then you get hit afterwards, you blinked wrong because you should be blinking on someone that has the engage that deals with all the attention going to you. Like Hoonbots, you blink, no one's able to hit you unless they burn beads, in which case you jump away. Cerberus, you go in, they're forced to beads or run, so you're not having the attention focus. If you blink in and they all turn to you, you fucked up and didn't cast your ult instantly.
So, in all honesty, Blink. I think Blink is fine the way it is. It's a very strong relic as it is. I don't think there should be any changes to Blink.
I
Blink?
think the reason I think what I don't like about Blink is that it suffers from the map.
It does.
There's so many things that you can't deal with Blink on this map. Like even if they just made the mid wall slightly thinner, because you can barely blink over those mid walls.
Yeah, and plus you have to kill the camp first before you blink.
Yeah, but
too.
like just slightly thin up some of the walls. Not all of them, but like some of them to where there's more that you could actually blink on.
Yeah.
Because like you can there's like one specific spot where you can barely blink into duo lane from their purple buff. But like it's so weird that it's specific. Just make it to where it's a little bit better.
All right. I think Frenzy is fine. I think Winketing is fine. I think Sprint is fine. Aegis is fine. Sundering is fine. What are we going to do with beads here?
See, the weird part is I'd say
If you nerf beads, all the carries' lives becomes mental hell.
yeah.
And if you buff it, all the support's lives becomes mental hell.
The other items have to be better than they currently are to make beads not built 4 to 5 times a game.
Make beads only against hard CC to where slows and stuff like that don't get beads. So that way you would build sprint against a team of a lot of slows or Witchblade. Then they could buff beads a little bit to where the game is not ran by hard CC. So Beck is only so strong because he has pluck and knockback. That's it. If you get rid of pluck, he's useless.
See, that is an idea to help it. Like it can't be we're gonna increase the cooldown, because if you increase the cooldown too much, And really, if overall increasing the cooldown on beads is gonna make
Honestly,
it to where
cooldown's
you're
too high anyways. I get fucking killed twice every time my beads are down.
yes, but at the same time, I don't want to be playing a Hoon bots and know that almost every single fear no evil I go to do, you're gonna get to beads it. It's part of the game to be able to counterplay something as massive as beads being down.
Right, which is why I think beads should be a hard CC only, to where you can still get slowed.
See, the issue I have, with that is there's some things that would be too big on, because I think, is fear a hard CC or a?
It's a hard CC.
Okay, I always forget if fear is, because fear is a weird one.
If it prevents you from playing the game, like just in general, hard CC. Silence counts as a hard CC. You can
That's the
still
thing, though.
basic, but that's it.
Root is a hard CC.
No, it's
No,
not.
root is soft.
I could have sworn one of the devs said the other day that root's a hard CC, and I
Root's
went,
not a
"What?"
hard CC.
No, because you can still use abilities in a root. Cripple is a hard CC because you can't use any of your movement to get out of it.
Okay, I don't know what that. So basically, I have the list pulled up right here. If it was no longer hard CC,
No, it was just only hard CC.
Root's, if it's only hard CC, then beads doesn't get you out of Hades ult. Beads doesn't get you out of overall vortex in general. So Hades ult, Poseidon, Whirlpool. Blinds it doesn't affect. Cripples it doesn't affect. Those don't matter as much. Roots and slows.
Roots would be like Sylvanas.
Yeah.
Artemis.
I think the issue is suddenly you're making it, if beads only works on hard CCs.
Why is it disarm? Why is disarm? Oh, disarm is a hard CC.
Yeah, it stops you from basing, which is fantastic because they finally fixed it to where disarm stops Nemesis shield. So Bellona's better against Nemesis, but she's still dog shit anyway. So
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's basically the tier list.
I mean, how many gods that have these soft CCs are not meta because of beads?
No one wants Hades to be meta.
Hades has never been meta.
Exactly, but no one wants it.
No.
It's like saying, hey, we want Arachne to be meta. Like, hell no, no one wants that shit.
Maybe that's what they could do. If they have beads against only hard CC, Bracer could be against soft. So that way it's still the same sort of thing. You could still counter Hades.
That would be an interesting thing. I'm thinking not Bracer. Because the issue with Bracer is then it doesn't fit what the thought process is. Bracer of undoing getting rid of
undoes slows.
Are you saying heal and do that, or just the heal, or just the soft CC? I mean,
you could probably do like a soft heal, so that way there's some value outside of.
Because I was thinking maybe just have a whole nother relic that is like a new one, even have like two different types of beads that do it. Obviously you can't have them both be called beads, because having to communicate, oh, greater beads or lesser beads down, it becomes a cluster. Kind of like Morgan and the Morrigan.
The only issue I have with that, characters like Nim, who are already like pretty good. Nim's a good god, but right now the kind of weird meta doesn't exactly fit her. If they get rid of the fact of her just beads in general doesn't counter Nim, she's gonna fucking just run the map. She has two slows.
So what you could do is have there's beads and then the other option, and the other option will have a lot of a lower cooldown. Like his beads is how long again? It's 240?
Close to 2 minutes.
Or no, not 2. It's 140, I think. It's 2 minutes and like 20 seconds, I think.
I think it's, hold on. It's 2.5 minutes base, but like 2 minutes upgraded.
Okay. Make it to where like the other one is like up every 60 seconds. So where the one that cleanses soft CCs is up a lot more often, and hard CCs is not up as often. So what ends up happening, or like, I mean, normal beads could be what it is now, because that way you do have options of what is good.
Oh, but
I
if you
don't know,
make
but
soft
like
CC up every 60 seconds, that would make certain gods like. I'm trying to think of a god who only has slows.
Nemesis.
Okay, yeah, Nem. Every six, you can't gank a person every 60 seconds.
Well, it's also a thing of someone else can try to burn it. The amount of times where the beads will get burned at the beginning. All of a sudden, like you could go in with a slow on the 2 of a Nim and then ult them afterwards, or ult them, they cleanse it, and then you 2 them.
That's
But
true.
overall, there has to be some balance because we can't be seeing 4 to 5 beads every game because it is currently making gods, where's their job for setup, a living hell.
It's like, okay, we burn beads, now we kill you, which is fine, but like if your god doesn't burn beads, why are you playing that god?
If my job as support is to go in with a Serb ult to try to get a pull, and all I do is burn beads, cool. But then you're making it towards an entire role where your ultimate is completely useless, so it relies on having another god that abuses that, and you're not always gonna have that. Like it kind of makes some weird things, like being able to be like, oh, the support doesn't have it, so at least we know we're gonna get the support. But even supports are picking it up now because they have to. It's weird. I mean, back in the day, I think another thing that was helpful was supports. You were tankier as a support back in the day, so it wasn't as punishing if you got Sir bolted. You still took a lot of damage and almost died, but you had more of an opportunity to get out.
Yep.
But overall,
and now they're removing crowd control reduction on tank boots.
Cool. We're gonna be guaranteed my own boots first relic. Woo, baby! Don't touch crit. Cool. So yeah, that is the patch notes. Or not the patch notes, the tier list with the current patch notes of 8.6. We'll see how things go for mid-season patch. Hopefully it's good.
Hey, boots changes, my man. Are we excited about that?
Dude, it's weird when the only thing that I'm excited about with this update is that Camazotz and Cthulhu skin. And the tier skin and the rat skin. It's literally just skins. There's only skins that I'm excited about with this patch. There's nothing I'm happy about other than that.
Nope. I'm
Not
gonna
a
be playing
single
Random
thing.
for the next couple of days.
No things that feel good for junglers. No things that feel good for supports. Just pain. That's about it. So yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully we see some good changes. Peace out and good night.
I'm gonna be